Welcome to the Paragals and Spooky Banter podcast, the place where we dive into all things paranormal, ghost stories, haunted objects, mysterious encounters, and everything in between. So get cozy, grab a drink, turn down the lights, and let's get ready to chat about the eerie, the unexplained, and the downright spooky. Let's talk ghosts.
Welcome back to Parachats with Paragals. In this episode, we're diving into one of the most fascinating parts of any paranormal investigation, the methods. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just curious about how we try to connect to the unknown. Tonight, we are each sharing our favourite techniques that we personally use and trust out in the field. We also reached out to some fellow investigators to hear about their go-to methods, and their answers range from tried and true tech to more intuitive and personal approaches. It just goes to show there's no right way to explore the paranormal. So with that in mind, Lisa is going to kick off this week's episode with a fully immersive technique known as the S's method.
So one of my favourite tools to use during a paranormal investigation is the S's method. A little bit of history for you on the S's method. It was developed around 2016 by investigators who were doing experiments at the Stanley Hotel. Did you know that?
No, actually didn't.
So it's actually a relatively new paranormal tool. For anyone who's not familiar with the S's method, it is a technique that blends technology with sensory deprivation to try and communicate with spirits. So the way it works is pretty simple. One person wears noise-cancelling headphones connected to a spirit box and a blindfold to block out any visual cues. The person who's listening speaks out loud and repeats any words or phrases that come through on the spirit box, while the rest of the team ask questions. But obviously, because you have your noise cancelling headphones on, you can't hear the questions. So that means when you do get answers that match, it is really cool and it's really creepy. The reason that I enjoy using the Estes method is because it feels really immersive and it feels really personal, like you're on your own in the room with the spirit. Like you can just hear them talking through you almost.
Yeah, I feel when you blind yourself off, you're like, I'm the only one in this room. Everyone else disappears, and I'm on my own here.
Yeah, especially with the noise cancelling headphones over the earphones that are connected to the, what do you call it? The spirit box. And why don't blank there? Connected to the spirit box. It's like really.
It's so intense.
So intense, yeah.
And if anyone's listening that doesn't know what a spirit box is, what is a spirit box?
Oh, so a spirit box is just basically like a little radio that scans through the frequencies really quickly, and then spirits can pick out the words that they want from any channel across all of the frequencies. It's a really cool method. It is really cool, creepy.
Yeah. It is. It's sometimes you just hear creepy music or something as well. It might not necessarily be words, but like it could be like playing like a song from like their time or something. It's really random how it works and picks out stuff.
Where were we that we were doing the Estes method and it felt like there was two spirits talking to each other?
The Antoneum, was it?
I think it was.
So. I think it happened a few times though, but like
it's really like they were having a conversation and you were just listening in.
Yeah.
And like I think at one point they were fighting. Having an argument. They were having a domestic squabble.
But it's so immersive like that. Like it just, you're sucked in and you feel like you're on your own. And sometimes that can be a little bit like unnerving as well. Yeah, a little bit scary as well.
Yeah. Also, when I feel like I do, I forget completely what I'm saying. Like
you have no recollection
what words I actually say.
Like there's some words that maybe stick with you. You're thinking, I think I said that out loud. But there's others that like you'll tell us afterwards, like, oh, you said this name or that name, and you'll be like, no recollection of that at all. Like, well, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
but it's cool, especially when the answers match. If they make sense, like that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because we're actually quite good at like keeping track of our questions and our answers.
Yeah.
Because they usually split up into two to do it. So like somebody's writing down, whoever's in the S's method, their answers, and somebody else is writing down the questions we're asking.
Yeah.
And it's cool to review afterwards. Like, oh, okay, so that matches up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely have to write down what you say because I'd never remember it. I can barely remember my own name now. Never mind what you're saying through that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my favourite method. I love it. And another method that I really enjoy is doing EVP sessions. I think Serena is going to speak a little bit about this as her method, so I will let Serena take it from here.
Yeah, I love using the EVP method as one of our investigation tools. It just helps us like to hear things that we couldn't hear with our ears, because when we use the recorder, we have silence. Well, mostly silence because it's us. It's never silence with us, but as silent as we can be, then we play the recorder and then we listen back with it slowed down on the recorder and with the speaker as well, so we can hear it a bit louder and clearer. And like some of the things we've been told on it, like we've been told we're bitches, get out. Like it's just, it is cool that
you can always
you can
hear something, like there's always like laughing or something.
Yeah.
Or like chatter in the background.
Yeah.
And
We've actually gotten some very good responses. I still think the freakiest one that we got was in the Ancient Realm last year.
Oh, yes.
Don't get in the car.
Yeah.
Oh, but the Lord, what's wrong with
told
the
us
car?
a few times, do not get in the car. Don't go to the car.
They were some of the best EVPs we ever got.
Remember we got one as well. It was really creepy. I think I said we're here all night. And then there was a male voice. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah.
I was like, that's not
Which was very happy we were staying for the night.
That's not creepy at all.
Yeah, no, EVPs are deadly. And it's like the same as the Spirit Box and the SS method. When you get something that's a direct answer, it's always like, whoa, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it is so cool.
Especially if you get a male voice.
When we're 4 females in a building by ourselves.
Yeah.
And you get a male voice.
Especially when they tell you to get out or fuck off or
you're a bitch.
just don't be here.
Yeah.
Or the little evil laugh that we got down in where?
The boiler room.
In New Ross. The Boiler Boy. Yeah.
The
Oh,
boiler
yeah.
boy.
Laugh.
He was very creepy.
He was. I don't think he minds us as much anymore though.
Yeah, I think he's used to us now.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
it was our second time down. He was like
ones,
laughing at us.
Yeah, he had a laugh the last time, but the first time it was really like
Oppressive and dark
yeah.
and
it wasn't comfortable.
no. But I like the EVP method as well because it's quick and like you can listen back to it there and then to like try build up a conversation with whoever you're talking to.
Exactly, it gives you cues for the next
session that you do. Like, and if you keep them quick, like 2 or 3 minutes long, well, not even, we usually get about a minute and a half before we like get distracted and then like go back into it. Then again, it's handy to try build up a conversation.
Sometimes we don't even get any questions asked because we're too busy laughing. Because every time we press record on the recorder, it's then we decide, let's be funny. And let's
go off in a tangent or something.
We don't even mean to, we just go off on our own little like.
Someone says something and it sparks and we're just like, oh god.
But it's good though because it builds up the energy. Like that's how
it does help build up the energy. But sometimes you listen back then and they're like literally you can hear like laughing in the background, either laughing at us or with us. Probably more so at us.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And it's good with EVPs because you can listen again in more depth when you go home. You know, you still have the answers.
You still have the recordings there, like so you can put your headphones on and really submerge into it to listen to it.
Yeah,
because I feel like you kind of miss them when you're listening back. It's like that time. Remember we did. We looked at the audio from one of the times we were at Duckett Grove.
Yeah,
and we picked up loads.
Yeah,
we picked
but
up
on the night we didn't even
a conversation, like nearly.
Yeah,
which was actually deadly.
It is interesting that like you can hear different things when you're in a different mind frame. I think as well, when you're on a bit on edge, like on the night, you can kind of miss things, and you listen back when you're a bit calmer or in your own space. You kind of pick up on more stuff.
Yeah,
because you can see it in the spikes.
In the spikes. Oh, can I just say that listening to your own voice slowed down, being repeated back to you?
It's so funny. It's so strange and kind of half mortifying as well. Like,
you just sound drunk.
Yeah, you sound really drunk.
Yeah,
or your nose is up like, hello, is anyone here?
But then you hear Emma's little whisper in the background.
My little
like, is that Emma or a ghost?
It's probably me.
Just there's one there that sounds awful like Emma.
Can't help it. I'm just a quiet soul. Okay.
That's why they all like you. Probably. She's not the maddest. Like.
Should I let them?
they're like, oh, she's quiet. We'll stay with her. The other three are fucking nuts.
Loopers, all right.
See, we're going off on a tangent again. Oh Lord,
this is exactly what you could expect from one of our EVTPT.
From one of our
EVP
EVPs.
sessions.
Is there any other methods you like to use?
Yeah, I really like using the dowsing rods as well. It's for our yes/no questions. So the dowsing rods were originally used to like divine water and find sources of water and to track ley lines. So the magnetic fields, like they can go through your house and stuff. They can actually like cause like health issues as well if you're like, yeah,
Really?
like they can cause headaches and like other issues as well. Like there's a lot of speculation about whether they cause cancer and stuff like that too.
Oh.
So like if you're like constantly sleeping in one, like every night they say they can cause health issues.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's mad.
And don't they say to sleep with them under your pillow for the first night you have them to kind of get...
Oh, the rods?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the ley lines.
Oh, no, sorry.
The ley lines under your pillow. They're not good for you.
The rods.
Yeah, so when you first get your set of rods, they say to like sleep with them for a couple of nights under your pillow just so they attune to your energy.
Yeah, it's like tarot cards. Right?
Yeah, so to get your energy into them so they're yours. And they do say to never let anybody else use your dowsing rods because they're personal to you.
Abide because sometimes we have shared.
Oh, yeah, when we started.
But like I think because we're a group and we know each other and like we trust each other's energy and like that our energies do combine a lot of the time. Like you wouldn't give them to like an outside person.
Yeah, exactly. And our energies are connected anyway at this point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Literally, sure.
Probably a bit too much, but sure, look.
We definitely overshare a lot.
Yes.
But they are fun, like because you can get yes/no answers and you can ask them the spirits like point to where they are in the room.
That's always creepy.
That's
always
gets me.
Yeah,
because it'll point beside you and you're kind
and
of
you're
going,
like looking
is it
over the
pointing
shoulder
at me or to somebody behind me?
Creepy.
And it is weird, like say when you ask like, was there anybody particularly you want to talk to in the room, and then they like just like immediately go to somebody and you're like, whoa,
they nearly make eye contact with you, like pointing at you, and you're like,
literally,
no, not me.
Anybody else? Not me.
Pick another one.
So we are quite interested. Sorry. We are quite.
And we're off again.
We'll just edit that out.
You're actually very good at doing the rods. I feel like that you're so comfortable doing them because I feel when I do them, I'm like, my arms get sore and I can't.
You're more tense.
Yeah, I feel like I'm tense doing them.
I enjoy doing it. I feel quite relaxed and kind of just go into the energy to whatever's communicating.
For some reason, whatever.
Yeah, but we all have our. This is like all the methods don't suit everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like you're really good at the essence method.
Yeah, I just really like doing it. That's
yeah.
I think if you really enjoy the
something,
method,
it works better for you.
You relax more into it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like you're using your intuition as well.
Yeah.
To like feel the energies. And like sometimes like you could have like multiple spirits trying to come through on the rods, but like you can feel the shift in energy and the different type of energy that's coming through them. It's not, I don't know if it's because they're made of like copper and brass that you can kind of feel it through it, the vibrations through it or something. It's interesting but also weird.
All of this is weird.
Yeah,
like try to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
And like just something you said there about your intuition, that's like, I think for all of us would probably agree that that's our main investigation tool that all of us use is our own gut feeling and intuition.
Definitely, yeah.
These are just tools that like
help
make it more of an immersive experience, I suppose.
Yeah. And especially when like a random emotion turns on and you're like, oh, where did that come from? Why am I crying? You know, it's not your own emotion, but it's like from somewhere. And sometimes
it's just out of nowhere. And you're like,
I've had a few experiences of that as well. But we might get into it in another episode.
Dun, dun, dun.
And it kind of links in then your own intuition kind of links in a bit with the divination side.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're like, you can feel the shift in energies like you were saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, you quite like using some methods for divination as well, don't you?
Yeah, I do. One of my favourite ones is automatic writing. So that's basically like a little planchette thing and you get paper underneath it and we all put our energy, like put our hands on the little planchette thing and just see if it moves and if it writes anything and go from there.
Yeah, sometimes we use that for like yes, no answers as well if the writing's not legible.
Yeah.
And you actually made that yourself, didn't you, Emma, for us?
I made our one, yeah. I just got a little wooden heart-shaped piece of plywood and I stuck on wheels and made a hole in it, put a pen in it.
Yeah, but it works really well.
It works.
It
It's
does,
so
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And because it's a decent size as well, there's enough room for the four of us to put our finger on it, like to
Yeah.
give it our energy as well. Like, and
And
we've
we don't just get yes and no answers.
No.
we don't.
No, we don't.
We've got some lovely pictures, as we said in our last
Yeah.
episode.
We have had some good responses with it.
Yeah, really good responses.
and that time that like it shook us all to the core when it literally flew at Emma at one of our investigations.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was so scary. And it would go dramatically to look at someone every time
Yeah.
it went, and then it just flew at you.
But
That
it
was the
literally did.
most- Sorry, go ahead.
It literally felt like it was turning to look at somebody if they were talking or didn't necessarily like what you said. It would just kind of go
Yeah.
and look at you.
It felt like you were being stared at.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was the most energy that we've ever felt on it when we were, that
Yeah.
was in Skirradin.
Yeah.
That was like,
I genuinely thought
intense.
you were going to start crying.
well, I didn't feel like I was going to, I was in shock. But
Yeah.
like,
I think we all were like,
it just,
I
we
think there's a
knew.
clip of all of our faces when it happened, and we're all just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
But the energy definitely shifted to whoever we're talking to first. And it was like a more darker, sinister, more energy kind of going, wow.
Yeah, it was heavier.
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
it? But that's the great thing about divination, because like you can feel the different energies.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
using your own intuition to feel the emotional side of it as well.
Mm. And for anyone who thinks, you know,
You're
you have your
moving it.
fingers on it,
Yeah.
you are moving it. You're not.
You're not. No.
It's so different. It
Because
really
I
is.
would have been skeptical about stuff like that before I started doing stuff like that.
Yeah, whenever you see videos of it, you're like, they're definitely moving that. Like, but when you try it yourself and the thing like literally moves by itself and writes a letter or
Yeah.
draws a smiley face or whatever it does, it's like it's surreal. Like
It is freaky.
It is, because with our one, because it's kind of big, you have to, whoever's at the front near the pen, you actually have to hold it
You
down
have
for
to
the
put some
pen
weight
to
on it.
write
Yeah.
on it.
Mm.
And then like, I know I'm either like holding it down or when I'm on it, like my fingers are barely hovering over it. So like sometimes
Yeah.
it runs away on you. You're like,
yeah,
oh,
you can't even
Yeah.
keep up with it.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
gone.
Or if it moves, like that time in Scared,
When it
and
flew.
your hand comes off it, like it's actually just mental.
Yeah.
You get the
Crazy.
chills.
Yeah, definitely. And you can even feel the energy as it moves with you.
Yeah.
So anybody that says we're moving it, you're not. You don't move it. Go try it.
not when it's clearly writing like hello and like perfect cursive.
Yeah.
And what was the name we got? Was it Liam?
We got
Liam.
Liam. Yeah. And it
Spelled out as well.
literally
And
spelled
like
it perfectly,
really
like-
clear.
was really good.
And then we got Anna at Scared. Did
Mhm.
she spell out her name?
Kind
Yeah,
of. It
kind
was
of.
harder to read, but
Yeah.
it was. We made it
You
out
could
as
make
Anna.
out. I thought it was Anna.
Yeah.
And another like version of doing a divination. I can never say that word right.
You said it really well there.
Yeah, thanks. It's a glass divination. So we usually it's a glass on a table. Same thing. You put your fingers on it, put your energy into it, and we usually do that for yes or no because they can't really write anything with that. And they'll move, like you can feel the energy moving the glass to,
Yeah, like we
Yeah,
pick
that's
a
really
direction for
interesting.
yes and a direction for no.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
and the glass will move. And again, it's just that surreal kind of feeling, like when it
Mm.
actually moves by itself.
Like, yeah, how is this moving by itself?
It's
Like,
crazy.
But again, you can feel the energy shift on it as well with, say, different spirits
Yeah.
coming in
Yeah.
to talk, to use it to talk.
Who were we talking to in New Ross? Up in
Boiler Boy.
the
Well,
little, no, up in the little cafe.
yeah, did
he
we
say
think
he
it
was
was?
a priest?
It was a priest, yeah.
priest.
Remember he
Oh,
was
yeah.
pretending to be a child at the
Yes.
start, and then we were like, "Are you really a child?" And he was like, "Haha." You could literally feel the glass
Yeah,
vibrating,
yeah.
like we're going. "Ah."
And you,
No.
when we asked him to like try and move the glass really dramatically at
Oh,
one
he
point,
did.
and he
Off the
did.
table?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tried
Oh,
like
he
trying.
knocked-
Remember, we had Reaper sitting on the table. We're like,
Yes.
"Oh, can you knock? I bet you can't knock Reaper off." And next thing, the glass just flew to the edge of the table and knocked him off.
Reaper is our little mascot teddy bear. There's pictures of him on our socials if you want to check him out. It's a
In
little
case you're
bunny rabbit.
wondering,
He
we're
comes
not off
everywhere with
tables.
We're not actually talking about the actual Grim Reaper.
No.
No, we've just named him Reaper. But he's cute. He comes everywhere with us. He comes on our investigations with us.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know where he pops up.
And on the topic of yes and no answers, we're going to move on to Karen's favourite method to use.
You're getting the
The
anticipation built up, are you?
The anticipation, yeah. Because my favourite method is the Ouija board. Now, I love and hate the Ouija board, which is also called a spirit board, talking board, or a witch board.
A witch board? I've never heard that one.
No, me neither.
Apparently so. Yeah. So basically, what a Ouija board is, it's a flat board. It has the alphabet, the alphabet kind of semi circle on the board. Also has numbers from 0 to 9, yes and no, hello and goodbye. And then it has like what's called a planchette, and it's a little kind of heart-shaped piece of wood with a hole in the middle.
A hole.
Okay, pancakes. So basically what you do is, it's the same as the automatic writing board that Emma made. So it's the same, you put your fingers on it. So everyone in the group puts their hand on the planchette, and you always must say hello, spin it 3 times, and never take your hand off the planchette.
You have to use your manners.
Yeah, you have to use your manners. Well, that's what they say anyway, that you can't take your hands off the planchette.
Yeah.
Unless it's moving that fast and your hand literally gets taken. You can't keep
behind.
up with it.
Yeah.
Literally.
Exactly. So you must always say hello and always say goodbye when you're ending the Ouija board session, because apparently it leaves whatever it opens open.
Yeah, there's a real stigma around Ouija boards and portals, isn't there?
Yeah. As I said, I love and hate it at the same time. Like, I had a really scary incident with the Ouija board, and that will be in
Another episode.
Next episode. So yeah, that's why I kind of love and hate it, and because I've had experiences with it as well. And then you hear other people going, yeah, we had an alright experience with it, and then you kind of think the experience I had, and I'm like, where, what?
So polar opposite. Like, you can have really good communications, and then sometimes, like you said, you can have experiences that are just a bit too dark and creepy.
Yeah.
And then the hilarious thing about Ouija boards is people that are like complete, absolute non-believers think it's absolute bullshit, point blank refuse to even touch a Ouija board.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe in it, but I'm not going to touch it anyway.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Like
in case of what? If you don't believe, in case of what?
It was brought out as a innocent parlour game.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Sure, they were selling it as a child's toy at one point.
Yeah, it was for like ages 3 upwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little 3-year-old child unleashing a demon into the world.
Yeah, like the Catholicism, they condemn it because of the satanic practices that people used to use it for. Like, but at the end of the day, it's still another form of communication.
Exactly.
Regardless whether you're using spirit box, dowsing rods, whatever.
Like, what's the difference between using a Ouija board and
the automatic
writing or the
glass.
rods, or you're still opening your energy up.
That's it. It's because it's got such bad stigma that.
And the movie industry as well has like
played on
it too.
Yeah. And they say other religious groups believe it can lead to demonic possession as well. But again, can that not happen through any other form? Exactly. Like, so I don't know.
I always said I'd never do a Ouija board. I was one of those people.
Same.
That was like, no, keep it away from me. Don't want to touch it, until I was given the opportunity to. And then all of a sudden I changed my mind and I was like, me, I'll do it. Like, I was the first one with my hand up, which is wild.
You just kind of sneaked me into doing one, and then that just went from there.
Wait,
sneaked a Ouija board.
I
wasn't realising what I was doing.
They won't let us buy one.
Because none of our families will let us keep it in the house.
No.
Nope. Even though my husband doesn't believe, he still believes in Ouija boards. Like, he doesn't believe what we do. He's like, oh, yeah, whatever, that could be this, that could be that. But he believes a Ouija board is evil.
He doesn't believe in spirits, but he believes in demons and demonic spirits.
Yeah. He doesn't believe that when we go on investigations that we're communicating with spirits. But he won't let me have a Ouija board. Just in case.
Does he believe that your house is haunted?
No.
Sorry, Jib.
Well, I think it's more me that's haunted, to be fair.
Probably.
Yeah.
You just bring friends home for little trips.
It's always you.
Friend.
No friend. Friend.
Now I want to watch The In-Betweeners.
Yeah, and again, for those people who think, use move the planchette yourselves. No. You have no. Like you don't know until you experience it yourself. Like that night you did it.
Yeah.
I was like, surely they're moving it.
So I was like, trying to look under the table. I couldn't believe like it was moving that much. I was like, how can this be real?
And next thing, the bloody thing lifts up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
they're
not pushing that.
Yeah, it was literally not even making contact with the board. It was hovering above the board at one point.
Wow.
Yeah. That was freaky. But that had me convinced. Like I from then I was like, okay, divination is a real thing. It works. It's not. There's no trick here.
Yeah. And with all forms of divination, you can actually feel the energy, so you know there's something there.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh yeah, that's grand. She's just moving that there. Like, but no, you can actually feel
the change.
Yeah,
in energies.
It's so
emotion.
It's
as
weird
well,
and it's creepy.
Yeah.
Like, because this thing, you have your hand on it and it's moving around, spelling out stuff.
And you have no control over that.
No.
Yeah, like you don't.
No.
Your hand's just going with it, and that's it. Like.
And you'll have to tune into the next episode, obviously, to hear. I'll go into more detail about the board, kind of spelling
and how
out
it
stuff.
Can have some negative consequences.
Absolutely, yeah. Like, I have heard some serious stories about people doing the boards and stuff like that. And then I've heard other people doing it and nothing's really happened.
And then with all things paranormal that you hear on media and stuff, you have to take it with a pinch of salt, because there are people out there that are just
doing it for the likes and follows and
trying to get the traction and get attention and stuff. So you do have to.
I think that's where it all goes wrong.
Yeah.
For people, if they're trying to do that and then something comes through and it's not who they think it is. And then that sets that
they're
all
almost exploiting it.
Yeah.
You know?
Because we've all had experience of spirit pretending to be something else or someone else to try gain your trust. And then it turns out that, like, no, they're not this child that they're pretending to be. They're actually a full-grown adult and are trying to manipulate you.
Yeah, and I think, as I said, that's when it starts getting dark and scary. Yeah. Always, like, with any kind of thing we do, all before our investigations, we do a grounding anyway.
Yeah.
So always.
And that's probably like one of our most important tools, is that we ground before we go into a location to do an investigation. Just so we're grounded, we're within ourselves. We put up our shields.
Yeah.
Just to like try to protect ourselves.
And we each always have like some kind of protection amulet or crystal with us as well. Yeah. That's another tool that we use.
And always pull on your grounding.
Yeah.
Always pull on your grounding when you're using different types of equipment.
Yeah, or if you feel unsafe, or if you feel like something's changing.
And particularly, like, if you get a sense of, if you're talking to someone on the board and you're kind of like, I'm not liking this, kind of, you know.
You can pull up your grounding.
That's it. Like, so yeah, that's the Ouija board.
The Ouija board.
I actually, as I said, I love and hate the bloody thing. So the other form of communication that I like, and this is more of a modern thing because it's actually a phone app. Now, it is a phone app, so you're kind of
slightly skeptical.
Yes, but we have got some good evidence from this, and it's the Necrophonic app that was created by, shout out time, Chill Seekers. I actually really like using this. As I said, I know it's a phone app and you're skeptical and all that, but there's something about it I like.
From one extreme to the other. Sorry, Emma. From one extreme to the other. Ancient Ouija boards to modern phone.
For the most, to the newest form. Like,
is that the one that makes all the noise, like the
like the spirit box
kind of noise?
Yeah, the one on my phone. Okay. Like, as I said, it kind of uses the white noise, and it's really freaky.
Yeah,
it
and
is.
You have to concentrate. So then again, you're more tuned into the energies because you're concentrating to hear.
You are kind of doing a sensory deprivation because, like, you do tend to close your eyes and just focus on your
sound,
on your hearing, to like tune your ear to what's coming through on the app.
Yeah, like that time we were in Lep Castle.
I can't remember Lep Castle. The only thing I remember about Lep Castle is Frightening the Life Out of You when I was trying to get heat off the fire.
No.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
You woke up. I was sitting at the fire. You woke up.
That was Redwood.
That was Redwood.
Oh, was it? See, then I don't remember Lep Castle.
Okay, never mind.
I've got my castles mixed up.
Myself and Lisa were at Lep Castle, and we got some really, really good evidence from it. Like,
I have memory loss.
at the age you're getting out.
Yeah, I am. I'm old. I actually know I've
Sound.
never remembered anything, so it's fine.
But yeah, I don't have a lot on the Necrophonic as it is a phone app. But
like we have got like clear, concise responses from it as well. Like, so it's not just random words. Like,
no, our names have been called out on it,
and we've had Irish come through on that, and different languages as well.
Yeah,
yeah. When it's like an English app, you know, it's set to be in English, and we have had different languages come through on it.
Because when we're in the military museum, we got Spanish, German, other
Oh,
languages we couldn't make out.
Where
we
did
got
we get
Irish.
Tarbert.
Oh, and in the military museum as well.
So it is interesting when things like that happen. You kind of go, oh, maybe there's something here. So it is like, it is an interesting app.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just one,
and it's worth having on, and like on an investigation to see, does it bring anything extra?
It's another form of communication.
Exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's it for today's episode of Parachats with Paragals. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed diving into the fascinating world of paranormal investigation methods with us. But the story doesn't end here. Next time, we're getting personal. Our next episode will be all about personal paranormal experiences. If you've ever had a spine-tingling encounter or a brush with the unexplained, we want to hear from you. Send your story to Paragals.Ireland at gmail.com for a chance to have it featured on the show. Don't forget to include as many eerie details as you can. We love a good scare. Until next time, stay spooky.
Bye!